Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. I've got another system requirements video for you guys today, and it's going to be on Mad Max, which is set to be coming out on September 1st, 2015, alongside Metal Gear Solid 5, the game we looked at earlier in the week. So both of these games are coming out September 1st, which is really kicking off sort of like the holiday gaming season, where we start to see all of these big holiday release titles that a lot of publishers and developers, push over the next few months. It's probably the most exciting time of year for gamers, when we get the majority of the titles for the year all sort of come out within like this 3-month span from September to November. And I know it's definitely my favorite time of year as a gamer and a content producer. So I'm kind of looking forward to Mad Max, but I'm also hesitant about it because it's got Warner Brothers behind it, who, just did Batman Arkham Knight, and that, we all know how well that went. So I'm a little hesitant about this game coming out, and I'm also kind of afraid that it's going to use the same exact formula as the Batman games and Shadow of Mordor, which used its combat system. I'm afraid they're going to just use that combat system and just sort of abuse it to death, and it's just going to be another sort of reskinned Batman game in the way that Shadow of Mordor was. Not saying that Shadow of Mordor wasn't a good game. They did some really great things with the Nemesis system, and the combat, was good, but they really did pull it right from the Batman games, which makes sense. It's under Warner Brothers, banner, so it is what it is. Fortunately, it's not the same engine as Batman Arkham Knight, though, which was on Unreal Engine 3, which normally would have been a great engine. Now, it's kind of hard to believe they even messed that up. But this is on Avalanche's own in-house engine. It's the same engine they used back on Just Cause 2. It's just a modified version of that. They've introduced some new graphical effects to help improve the look of the game. So it is looking to be a pretty decent title as far as graphics are speaking anyway, from what the gameplay that I've seen so far. But jumping over to the system requirements now, we'll take a look first at the minimum system requirements for Mad Max. They are saying that you're going to need a 64-bit operating system, either Vista, Windows 7, or Windows 8, and presumably Windows 10 as well. So just basically a 64-bit OS. On the processor side of things, for the minimum, you're going to need an Intel Core i5-650 at 3.2 gigahertz or an AMD Phenom 2X4 at 3.4 gigahertz. For the memory, they're saying 6 gigabytes of RAM, and for the graphics cards, a GTX 660 Ti with 2 gigabytes of memory or higher, or an AMD HD 7870 with 2 gigabytes of memory or higher. And it is a DirectX 11 title, and it requires 32 gigabytes of hard drive space. So nothing really too crazy there with those system requirements. 660 Ti or 7870 is really, nothing too major. So it seems like this game is possibly going to be fairly well optimized. At least the system requirements would suggest that it's not going to require the most ridiculous machine out there. I know when Arkham Knight system requirements got released, they were really, really hefty. I think for the ultra requirements, they were saying a GTX 980, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to be that much of a graphical masterpiece compared to like Arkham Knight, or at least it's going to be better optimized than Arkham Knight. Anyway, so the minimum system requirements, I think most people should be able to obtain, or already have PCs that can probably run this game, at least at the low end. Looking at the recommended system requirements, the same 64-bit OS, the processor is bumped up to an i7-3770 or an FX 8350. I would agree probably with the FX 8350, but the i7-3770 is probably not going to be necessary. I'm sure any i5 is going to be fine. 2500K, 3570K, or any of the new like Haswell or Devil's Canyon or the new Skylake that was just released. So I'm pretty sure any of those i5s will be just fine running this game. I'm just getting annoyed already with seeing people listing i7s as a recommended requirement for a game when i5s can handle pretty much every game out there absolutely fine. Looking at the graphics requirements, they are saying a GTX 760 with 3 gigabytes of memory or higher, or a HD 7970 for the AMD camp with 3 gigabytes of memory or higher, DirectX 11, and still the same 32 gigabytes of hard drive space. So it is going to be a hefty install, and it's interesting to see that on the recommended side of things, they are recommending to have at least 3 gigabytes of video memory. So this thing might be pushing the VRAM a bit. If you're running on one of the a 2 gig card, you may have some issues running this game full out max settings, but we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out on September 1st, and I will be bringing you guys a performance review for this game as well as Metal Gear Solid 5 when those games come out on September 1st, so be sure to keep an eye out for those videos and any news that comes up between now and then. So let me know down in the comments below if you're going to be picking up Mad Max, if you're looking forward to this game, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ta-ra.